Going live. Going live.
Going live. Oh, we're live.
You're live. Hey.
Oh my god.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yay!
Welcome to a very
No,
this
where
is
we mustered up that energy for that.
a pared down version.
Oh my god. Oh,
Where's that sound? That's
no,
you.
It's me. It's me. Stop. See, this is what happens.
Pared down version of Table Talk without Maya yet again because of the shift to Thursday, she wasn't available.
Yeah.
So you get the two of us, the 14 of you who are there right now. We didn't do a great job of announcing. Well, I guess we announced it 2 days ago, saying that this was going to happen.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. Hey, hi, hey. So
Hello.
I'm just going to do this now while there's only 14 people watching. Because I don't want to complain about being tired, but I'm pretty tired. And, it went to 29. I almost said a bad word.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm just kind of tired. I'm a little tired. It's been like a super busy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brisket's really angry about some of these over in the other room, growling.
The windows are open. And
Yeah.
so, can I just say real fast? Too many people have jumped to the conclusion that Brisket is no longer alive. Because
Do we need to go get him?
what am I going to sit him on the
proof of
table?
life?
What are we supposed to do? He's fine. He's just he'll probably bark.
I did post a picture of him today, though. Granted, it was in a cone of shame.
That doesn't help
No, but
the perception
the
that
absence.
he's so not just under the weather, but under the ground. He's not. He's fine. He's right over there. There's no place for him here, and he refuses to go into that room.
No, he's terrified. He's terrified of the back room.
The threshold.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some kind of ghosts on the other side.
I don't know. Who knows? But we've both we've said before we both work in IT, and I think both of our respective companies have had some big product launches in the past month.
Our windows open, so you might
yes,
in the
and our
background
windows
hear motorcycles go by or something. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those times where you get done at the end of the day and you don't know what happened.
Yeah, and Tuesday, what happened was I had a call until 7:55,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, "Am I going to be ready 5 minutes after that call? Am I ready for the call? Am I ready 5 minutes after the call? Maybe nine. It's me speaking Danish. Nine.
I had the energy to at least go in the room where we keep all of our equipment.
Yeah,
and,
you brought
bring out the
a single bag. There's a
single
lot of
bag.
bags to set this stuff up. She brought one bag, and I come down, and I'm like, "You're gonna have to talk me into this." And she goes, "I moved a bag."
I was like, listen,
A bag.
I didn't want to commit because you were still on the phone, and I was like, oh, I thought he was gonna set up all of it because he's got all of his equipment over there that's all fancy schmancy, and I don't know how to set that up, and that wasn't set up yet, and I was like, oh, maybe this is not happening today.
I was gonna do it in between calls,
and then it didn't happen.
and it didn't happen. And so I'll say this: we don't talk a ton, and I won't, about our job specifically. No. But even though it's not fully been announced, there's only 60 people here. So I got a promotion, and so this has been also occupying a lot of extra time. And I was gone last week. And thank you to the air traffic control at Copenhagen Airport for once again not letting me down and letting me arrive home 2.5 hours late.
Yeah.
About 1 a.m. on Friday evening, which kind of put a damper on the weekend. Last weekend. And by the time I recovered, I was back at work again.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why it's super relevant to talk right now about work-life balance, which is a good idea that you had to talk about today, because we've been struggling with balancing our work life and our other life, regular life.
Yeah, I had this weird thing. Granted, we're right now complaining about how tired we are and stuff, but I think for me, I'm super busy at work because I'm kind of a subject matter expert, and I know a lot about the platform, and so a lot of people ask me to help them on things, and so I'm constantly going, and I was going over some of my KPIs with my boss, and in terms of customer facing time, I am already halfway to my goal for that, and we just finished Q1. We're mid Q2, and I'm like way ahead. So then there's like all these conversations about people, you know, like I keep getting asked like, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Are you stressed out? What are you doing? You know, there's help, there's people you can talk to, take a day off. And I'm just like, this is no different than it was back in the US. So am I like gaslighting myself? Like, should I be stressed out? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is. So that is an interesting topic and a difference here because I think, you know, I think you, I don't know if you said this in what you wrote, but you talked about it prior to this. The phrase like going down with stress is something that I'd never heard before.
No.
Moving here. Because I feel like in the U.S., if you go down with stress, you are like what people think brisket is, right? I almost said bacon.
He's like, bacon's really
bacon
down with stress.
Did
go down with stress.
Bacon's not with us anymore. I meant brisket. You know, you go down, you go down.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, if you go down with stress, like you've had to like take significant amounts of time off.
Yeah, I don't even, but I also don't
like
think
mental health.
Like, I mean, I guess, doctor's notes and stuff. I mean, you get a finite set of time off from work for being sick. So if you exceed that, then you move into vacation time. And after that, I guess with the,
maybe
you know, the Family
disability?
Leave Medical Act,
yeah.
there's some kind of way of getting some kind of short-term disability that's not going to be paid unless you have insurance to help cover it.
Yeah.
Which some jobs pay for that kind of insurance for you, but
Affleck.
it's, yeah, I mean, I never even considered that. I mean, and where I worked before moving here, I was always a consultant. And so as a consultant, you know, taking time off work for being sick
is not a thing.
It affects your, you know, your bonus situation because you're not utilized as much.
Yeah.
And also it was basically one pot of time off that you could take. So if I didn't take it as sick time, I could take it as vacation time. And so I would basically just try to not get sick, which I know is not great. I get it. But this is just, it's also very warm here, by the way.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that doesn't help.
That doesn't help at all. Yeah.
At all. Like we are, and also you brought up a good point that, you know, Maya has the cat. We love the cat. She's great, but she's also a little on the, you know, dumb side. And we're constantly afraid she's just going to like yeet herself out a window.
Yeah, my office is on the second floor. The other day, I'm sitting here. So I'm going to open the window. It'll be fine. I'm sitting here.
You're 2 stories up.
It does have like ninja-like reflexes. This donkey cat, like,
we love her. We love
past me and like was halfway out the window when I caught it. And I got to, I have some like, I have my Stormtrooper Lego head. If you ever saw me, that was on a Trot on Tuesday a long time ago. I got my guitar Lego, which was on a whole separate video. These are like, I invested time in these Lego things. The Stormtrooper thing just like flew across my floor and was like rumbling around like a soccer ball in the corner. Cause I tried to save this guy. I did. I successfully prevented the cat from flying out the window, but I'm like, now what am I got it. So I have to close the door to my office if I want my window open, which then, you know, air isn't circulating as much.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just not as cool. And I haven't really got a fan. I haven't refanned.
You haven't refanned?
Refanned since we bought the house. Because, like, we had basically the cheapest fans you could have.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not... No,
I don't know.
One of my technology.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was recommending a fancy Dyson fan. I am so excited. Michael Klein, hello. He frequently joins us, and I am so excited that this week is the week that he visited Copenhagen and the infamous.
So if one of the very first videos that we did was when we went to the castle.
Yes.
And we we had a lot of different ideas, and sometimes
we went through a green screen phase.
And it wasn't, the funny thing is I didn't even have a green screen. It was white, and I did my best to replace the white sheet with the picture of something. And so we reenacted this. Yes. And I think that might have even been the brisket thing, wasn't it? Like stories with brisket.
Story time with brisket. We never did that. We
lived story time with brisket, where I picked up this book and acted like I was telling a story with brisket in my lap. On my stomach, it was so small. Anyway, and I told the story of when Michael was here, and when Michael and Judy, his wife, they came 4 years ago. Also, he was here in the Noma video, if you want to see what Michael looks like. And so we took him to our favorite castle, and we go there, we're walking around, and we're going through and we get to the like the big dining hall or something, right before the big hall.
It's like the great. It's the basically like the. It's
This is
like the great.
Fredericksburg
It's not the
and
great
Huru.
hall, but it's the big dining hall.
And there's like these two paintings that depict like war and stuff. And it was a situation, I think it was where I think the Netherlands came and helped or something against the Swedish war.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think there's like
involved
some
with the
Dutch flags in there.
Swedish war. I can't. And now we're gonna get in trouble again with this docent and Fredericksburg.
Maybe the docent is amongst the 97 people watching. I don't know. And so so there's the ships that look like, I would call them like, I would refer to them as Pirates of the Caribbean ships.
Yeah, they were
a lot like the
Pirates
Vasa
exactly.
ship in
yeah.
you know, at the museum in Stockholm.
A schooner.
And Michael says, just to anybody who could hear, like, look at that Viking ship. And I think the docent, she like materialized out of nowhere.
She did. She just like magically
I think she had like camouflage on, and she just like crept out of the corner, waiting for somebody usually to ask questions.
Yes.
But in this case, she was angry.
Really put out that Michael had called that a Viking ship.
And she's like, Jesus Christ.
No, she was like, she said that. She was like, look at that painting. Does that look like a Viking ship to you? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was intense. And so now Michael, I think Michael will see like a rowboat in my presence and be like, look at that Viking ship. It doesn't matter. Any water dwelling.
Now they're all Viking ships.
Everything's a Viking ship. It could be like a paddleboard to him. Around me would be, look at that Viking ship, especially if we're in Denmark.
Yeah. And now there's this like long running inside joke that we just say every time we see Michael. We're like, Jesus Christ. It's Michael.
It's Michael. We can't take him anywhere.
He got totally scolded that day.
And I was texting him the other day, because when I was in London, he normally would have been on that trip as well, and I would have seen him. And but he didn't come this time, and I said, we need to get together somewhere. So Michael, Judy, we gotta
get together.
I feel like you mentioned some Scotland or something.
There's a Michelin star.
We're gonna
restaurant
meet you
somewhere. There are foodie friends.
Yeah, and you're still getting schooled, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a bottle of mead.
Yeah.
And I have some cider, because I think when I'm this tired, if I drink like really alcoholic stuff, I'm already struggling. Yes, Ireland and London, we're going to text on this, and I might show up for a weekend if I can, because it's been so long since we've seen you.
It's also Day of the Potato. Oh.
It's the Day of the Potato. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So back to the. I got distracted by. I mean, I can never.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about stress. We should probably get back to that.
Yeah, well, that was not stressful. That was.
That was stress relief.
That was fantastic. And I think that was the first time that they came when we hung out, and we went to Based.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
For the first time, and then they were back. At least Michael was back a couple times.
Yeah.
After that, and we went to the Amans. I feel like that was before then. I can't keep track.
I don't remember.
But last time he was here was when we went to Noma. And
oh no, I don't know if Michael would be welcome at the Viking ship museum.
I think like in America.
He went. Apparently he went.
Yeah, but
incognito.
Exactly, because in American movies and like Bonnie and Clyde, and there's like pictures at the bank of people that they have to look out for. I feel like Michael's photo is in every like.
Don't let this man in.
Don't. Oh my gosh, he doesn't understand Viking boats. Don't let him in.
He's an insult.
We can't set this straight. Right? Yeah, he's an insult to all Viking boats.
Michael's so nice, and he didn't mean it.
Super good friend. He
knows now.
Yeah, you guys went. I just didn't get to join you. So back to the work-life balance stuff.
Yeah.
And and this is the challenge that I have at the moment is I work with people in a number of countries.
Yeah.
So like today, for example, I was on calls with people in Germany, in France, in London, in Belgium, various places and various calls. And they all have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I feel like the French folks that I work with at least tend to work through stress much more than here. So it makes it challenging, because I want to obviously adhere to my coworkers and be present for my coworkers. So I feel like I'm just back into the same old routine as when I was in the U.S.
You feel super. Yeah, I don't know. I also have the issue that, one of my like weird ADHD things is that what I do for my job is one of my hyper focus areas. So it's a thing where I could just like do it all day long, and I will totally forget to eat and forget to do things that I should do, and I get very absorbed in it. And to me, I don't register that as stress. And I keep telling people, I'm like, this is fun for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy like doing these things and trying to figure things out. But I think people see me, maybe working till 8 o'clock at night or something, and they're like, oh my God, you should take some time off. And it's just like, that's fun for, like, I legit last night was doing some training like online because it's fun. And I just want to know about that stuff. So I don't know. So it's weird. Like,
well, I mean, I was at work till 6-ish. And when I got home, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to do anything.
I have a general belief, though, that if I have something on my mind, typically it's work related, it's best to write it down. If I write it down, send the email or type a note or something, it gets out of my brain and I have a better chance of going to bed.
Just do it now.
So I will maybe send emails or write some notes or something at 10 or 10:30 at night before I go to bed, because it helps me sleep better. Because if I don't, I'll be thinking about it. And it's just like getting it out of my mind is for the best. And then also the challenge is when I travel for fun, there's like two things. You can either accumulate so many emails that those first days are super stressful when you get back, or you can just kind of lightly monitor what's going on so you're not getting surprises when you get back. So I typically monitor my email, even if I'm not responding to them, just so that I'm not like completely taken off guard when I get home. That it depends on the trip and where I am. Now, we would often travel internationally to like Europe when we traveled for fun. When we lived in the U.S. And that made it super easy because, there'd be so many hours when everybody's sleeping and there wouldn't be any distractions by email or work stuff. But,
our mic's unusually low.
I mean, it looks like it's high.
Yeah,
to me, it seems. Anybody else?
Really loud.
Let's take a little consensus here.
Yeah, let us
Mike's
know.
high or low? Give me a thumbs up
high.
if you think. I mean, I hear myself quite loud.
Yeah.
And I see.
Yeah, it's not low.
It's
not low to Klaus.
Klaus, thank you, sir.
Adam says,
you can hear perfectly.
Right.
Fantastic. Oh, you hear me fine. All right. Well, my voice is super low. With a day that I was 1:30 and my flight landed the other night, my voice was so low.
Oh my God, you were so low.
And I was like,
you're
man.
low anyway.
I know, that was like mega low. I'm like, I need to go home and just start recording some demo tapes.
And I could tell, I could tell it was, I actually mentioned that to somebody at work. Like I could tell that Josh had been at, a multi-day event, because when you came back, you're like,
yeah. I mean, I talked for days, for like 4 days straight. And I was up late, and that night I was up late. I didn't get enough sleep. So my voice was super low. I'm like, man, if I wanted to do voiceover work, this is what I need right now to get my demos together. And this is
to do it.
This is my future.
Yeah.
If you need English translation, just let me know. I'm your man.
Somebody said stress is when you lose control, and it's not necessarily bad to be busy. But I think there is, for me, and Josh, you know this, that there are just times when I tap out, and I have had more of those days lately where I just can't do anything. Like I've had a couple days where I just lay in bed. And that really is bad, and I feel super guilty about it, because I'm like, oh, I'm so lazy today, but I just can't get myself to do anything. And then I'm fine the next day, and I can keep going and stuff. But, if I mention that to people, they're like, oh my God, that's really bad. You're super stressed out. You should take more time off. And I'm just like, if I can take a day and recover, then I'll just keep going.
Yeah, and I don't remember what I was going to say. I will say, when I used to travel all the time as a consultant, I was on the go, because I was in front of clients a ton, and so that takes an extra level of energy when you're on a client site for the whole day. I'd come home on weekends, and maybe you can understand now because you're in a position where you're with clients more.
Yeah.
why I could barely move on Saturday and Sunday. I had to like recuperate from the week of traveling because I used to travel to New York. So Monday morning, not plural form of New York, just a single New York.
Yeah,
I'd go to New York
Yorks.
on Monday morning at like 6:30 in the morning. I'd be on a plane and I get to New York and I'd be like on the go all day. I'd fly back, get back late Thursday night, and then I work Friday from home, and then Saturday I was just done and spent Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's how I could like maintain the pace.
Yeah.
But now. Yeah, I mean it's just been pretty busy, and I think the heat for sure makes it tough because there's like no air conditioning. It's like super warm.
Yeah.
It makes me even more tired.
Yeah.
And the air traffic control situation makes me hate flying. I don't know if June is specifically busier. It's just busier right now because
It has been really busy.
I had this trip and then this like new, and thank you for the people that say congratulations. The work stuff with the promotion has made it a little bit more busy than normal. And then obviously trying to get everything done before, summer, on break. So there's like this stretch where, and I work with people all around Europe and their breaks are all at different times, but right now it hasn't happened. So everybody's trying to get a bunch of stuff done before like this, like massive month and a half, 2 months of disruption where Italy takes a break at one time and Denmark another time and Germany another time, all these different times. So I do think June is typically super busy. And then like the end of August, early September is super busy.
No. But so, yeah. So then
I remember what I was going to say. I'll forget it again if I don't say it now. Stress isn't always something you can, it's like, I think it's like happiness. When people talk about being happy in Denmark and they just assume everybody's smiling all the time. That's not really what happiness is. And stress, like clinically, you might not, it's not necessarily because you didn't get something done. Like there's specific big events in your life that create stress that like make it harder on your body, make you not sleep as well, affect you in so many ways. Some of them is like buying a house, which we did not long ago.
No.
While it's a happy event. It actually creates stress. Changing jobs, going through this interview process that I went through to get this job. That was stressful, even though it wasn't like, oh, I'm so stressed. It's still like put something on your body that is actually stress. Yeah. And so those things add up, and then add on top of it the daily frustrations that is what we often perceive as being stressful. Yeah. Then you might be more stressed than you realize.
Well, and then I think too, like when you have schedules, I think you and I both have the same, similar schedules now. Like you kind of, either you don't eat or you don't eat well. And, so I think that also affects things like, you're not really eating properly. You're not exercising properly. And so that's something that's been on my mind because I have, so many people in my family have had, major heart attacks or, in their 60s and stuff. My one grandfather dropped dead at 61 of a heart attack. My other grandfather had a major heart attack at 65. My aunts had a heart attack. My mom's had a heart attack. So like now that I'm getting closer to those ages where those things happened, I worry about those things more. So I'm like trying to be cognizant of how much stress am I putting on myself? How am I eating? Am I exercising? Am I sleeping okay? Because I'm like super scared that I'm gonna, just drop dead at 65.
I'm afraid because you walk so much faster than me when we're in a city that I'm going to drop dead and you're going to be like 10 blocks away before you realize I'm laying dead on the street behind you.
I pay attention to how far ahead of you I am.
By the way, I have, been to the
Freelance Museo.
Yeah. I mean, we used to live in Lyngby. You can almost walk there from where we used to live, but there's a video about it with Thomas. And we also went to other landmarks in Lyngby that time. This was Easter of the COVID year.
Oh gosh, it was. That was a while back, and we
or
wanted
2021, I guess.
We wanted to go because that one, like on some episode of Amazing Race a million years ago with Phil, they made butter there.
Yeah, they churned some butter. I wanted to. I couldn't. I wanted to. There's also like a rabbit race thing or something too. I think an obstacle course with the rabbits. Yeah. If you have never watched Amazing Race, this was. I don't know if it's still on. I say it was past tense because Michael can confirm if it is.
Season 30.
I don't know. I mean, COVID, I'm sure put a stop to it for a bit if it's not started back up again. But they'd basically go and they travel, and they'd like go from like Denmark, and then they fly to like Vietnam or something, and then they fly to like Brazil.
And they do all
and they do these weird
obstacles.
tasks and stuff that are typically related to wherever they are. Like in Denmark, they did the whole thing at Lyngby with churning. I don't know about the churning butter thing. I mean, dairy's a big thing here.
Danish butter is very famous.
That's true, but it's
quality.
not like you see people churning butter. I've seen more people churning butter on Eurovision than I have around Denmark, by the way. And so, and then they also went to the Viking boat castle. And they actually danced in one thing. Oh,
that's right. They did.
And and so when we travel somewhere, we'll typically Google Amazing Race and then a city. Yeah. We did this more before. And usually at this point, there's been so many seasons that there's like an episode where they've been the place we're going. Yeah. And then we try to go to that place or something just because it's fun to have seen it on the show.
No, exactly.
And so when we lived literally like, a kilometer from one of the places they went to on Amazing Race, we had to go there. And that's what we did in that episode.
Yeah, we did. I don't think the camera's out of focus. Somebody said this is the camera out of focus. Sometimes it does get a little weird. Yeah, I look focused. I think maybe you're a little bit out.
I live life out of focus. I mean, I certainly didn't kill myself to put it in focus because I think I've been sitting in this chair for like an hour. Before this started, I was like, oh my God. But it's usually set to like autofocus. So I feel like it's I don't know. And MK is always there to hook me up.
He is. He's very good.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be in the, you should, Michael, but I don't want to be on the Amazing Race only because, like, to win, they do some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, like, they're like some of those things
they're
that
like
they
climbing
have to do
up, but the time they had to, like, walk between,
between
ridiculous buildings.
Well,
and,
they walked between those two buildings in Kuala Lumpur, and you were like, that is never happening.
Nope. So there's parts of it that are cool and parts of it that are like, that is insane. The things that they do, I would never. And like, there was one where they had to like walk from like, it was like a 20-story building. Yeah. And they had to like walk face down, like, like walking down the building. I'm like, no. So I will happily be I'll like go to all those places. Like I actually had this idea with Maya, which I mean, I have ideas all the time that never go anywhere. This is an example of that. I'm like, we're going to plan an Amazing Race thing. Maybe it was all of us. An Amazing Race year where we take one season and we try to go to all the places in 12 months that they did an Amazing Race. Yeah. And I thought that would be fun. And we never did it. But I've been to a lot of places anyway. Yeah. But I thought that would be a neat way to like plan trips. But none of them would have included walking down a building or between buildings or like jumping out of planes. So yeah, no. I'm not watching Tour de France, no.
Oh, is that on right now? Oh no, sorry. Oops.
Ever had fear of your job situation due to stuff going on? No, they're pretty disconnected.
I mean, I was there was one time a long time ago. I don't even know how many years ago. I think Maya was 3 or 4, and I had a really terrible respiratory infection. And I ended up in the hospital for 3 days. Like for the first 2 days, I couldn't talk to anybody because I would like start coughing. And then I got out, and it was like 6 months before I felt kind of 100% again. And the first, 3-4 months, it was tough. I like kept going to work, but I probably should have taken some time off.
Yeah, I
know that at some point they did have a conversation with me. They were like, maybe you should take some time off.
Let me say this to end out this segment of the very unstructured conversation that we're having. We're like going from Amazing Race to back to stress. I will say this. So the company I work at now has global well-being days off sporadically throughout the year. So everybody in the company is off. And tomorrow is one of those days for me. So I don't have to work tomorrow. And it hit me this time. Usually I'm like, oh, the great thing is you don't get emails from people. But the other great thing is you still have to work. So I can like, not because I feel bad that you're not because I'm glad I'm working and you're not working, but just means like I can like completely be on my own and just do whatever I want to do. Yeah. There's nothing that we have to do together or anything like might happen on a Saturday.
Does that mean I should go into the office
I would suggest that because
You're just gonna walk around.
I want to no, man, me and Brisket and I.
You're gonna have some botanic
I mean,
time tomorrow.
I tracked down. We're gonna go. I mean, I like to take him to dog parks, but it's like usually so wet here. I don't like to go because it gets muddy. But it's not been wet, so I think I'm gonna take him to a dog park tomorrow.
To be fair, there's air conditioning in the office, so it's probably more comfortable there.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know. So Michael used to work at the same company, and it does sometimes feel like cramming, but I think it's because he was in the U.S.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
it hasn't felt that way this week.
No.
I mean, I think I would have done as much work if it was 5 days and then had it off tomorrow as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just been, yeah. I mean,
oh, there's a new Netflix show about the Tour de France.
oh,
Interesting.
yeah. Maybe I'm just not a huge fan. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was cool because it was here, and I drove across the bridge.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 years ago. When was it here?
It was last year.
Last year, yeah. I remember, yeah, because we went to Aalborg the day before. We drove across and went to Aalborg.
Yeah.
And watched it on TV when they were going across the bridge. And I was waiting for somebody to fly off the Nightmare Bridge and stuff. That didn't happen, thankfully.
There was that crash.
Not that I wanted that to happen, but I wouldn't have been surprised because it's a bridge full of nightmares. I definitely don't want to ride my bike across it. Holy moly. Yeah, so I don't have that many graphics today. I'm not super prepared.
No.
So try it on Tuesday. That's the low quality version of that. Try it on Tuesday.
Try it on Tuesday. Okay, look, here's the other thing. I was going to make something, and I think just between the heat and also, I working late nights this week, it didn't work out. So I went to the grocery store and I tried to find something. It's been a while since we've done a candy thing, so I thought, who's barking? Sorry.
It's not Brisket, although
not
he's
Brisket.
interested.
It really sounds like him. But anyway, I went to the grocery store to pick us up some food, and they had 3 different flavors of Super Fighters. And I've never heard of this before. It's got a rocket ship on it. And this one is lacquerades with strong salmiak filling. Strong filling.
Oh, but this one.
This one.
That's BS over there.
This one is red strings, I think, with fruit flavor and sugar filling.
Okay, I'm gonna try that one. But it makes it look like some amazing thing is gonna happen.
And this one, I know it
like
does.
there's clouds and stars.
You're gonna go to the moon.
I want it to be like a Pop Rocks kind of thing that's fizzling in my mouth.
Yeah. This one is lacrys salmiak with mild salmiak filling. I'm gonna try the strong one because I've gone weird and I actually like the strong salmiak flavorings.
Super fighter for Josh.
All right. Blue one is the OG.
Nah.
Okay. Let's try it.
It is crunchy-ish. I'm not going to chew into the microphone. Oh my gosh, there's stuff getting on me. It's powdery inside.
Woo! Getcha.
It's like a sugar stick thing inside. There's powder in it.
Is it? Okay. Now I know what to expect.
I like powdery stuff.
Oh, I like these. And these were the strong ones. I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's nonsense.
See, do you see how much more of a Dane I am than Josh? I'm going straight. I didn't even do the mild salmiak filling. I went straight for the strong one. And
I did none of those.
And I enjoy it. See?
Fascinating. That was our
try it on
poor
Tuesday.
attempt to try that Tuesday.
Do you follow any sports besides baseball? We love football. Not American football. Football. But I wouldn't say we're great at following it.
Oh my gosh, the hat stuff. I work today. Here's the thing. This is if I work.
No baseball cap today.
I don't have a hat on. Although tomorrow was a day off, I could have put it on.
You
But
could.
if I'm working, I typically
Is
don't
your
wear
hair
hats.
too long though now?
I
you reached
I
have you
have-
reached the too
I
long
have
point?
various hats for all hair lengths. So I'm covered. I'm covered. So let me do this because we're talking about hats and random stuff. I found this. I was just looking for other things to talk about, and I found this photograph
Yes.
photograph of
Yes.
me, and I'm going to say it was taken by Foz. What do you think it might be?
Oh, it's taken by Foz. Oh, wait. Is this the beard? Yes. It's the beard
If
photo.
you're ever curious how long my beard has been, this may be the longest my beard ever was. And my friend Froz
Magic beard.
he would basically take pictures for a while with his stormtrooper in different situations. By the way, we're at a DC United soccer match here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wearing a DC Nationals shirt. And I have a ridiculously long beard that got like crazy wavy. It was before it was gray. I basically did not maintain this at all. And you can even see like crazy-ish, longish, curly hair in the background.
Well, and also you can see, when people wonder about Maya having red hair, you can see how red Josh's beard is. Like now it's a bit, no offense, it's a bit more gray. You're getting the silver fox.
It's reality.
Look.
I get it.
Getting the silver fox. Oh, there's see, for all the people wondering where Maya is.
Oh.
She's in the comments.
And here, this is good. She's here, so I'm going to embarrass her. I decided whenever Maya's not here, I'm going to show a picture of her.
Oh, I think Maya accidentally.
That's who's calling you.
Yeah, that's so my watch was buzzing and I'm like, who's calling me right now? It was Maya.
So here's a Maya picture. If you want to see an old photo of Maya,
look at her.
this is when Maya and I went to Romania.
Yeah, that's
We're
is that
in
Bucharest?
Brasov. No.
Oh no, Brasov.
No, Bucharest is not that.
Yeah.
Like that. And it was one of our daddy-daughter trips in February of, I think it was 9 years ago or something like that. And here's Maya, like a long time, with her very red hair.
Yeah.
In Bucharest with me. We had such an amazing time. Not in Bucharest, Brasov. So we drove all around Transylvania and visited all these fortified churches, all these really cool old medieval towns. It is such an amazing place. We lived in the U.S. at the time and flew over, but old photo of little old Maya.
Was that your second daddy-daughter trip?
No,
France was the first one, right?
France was first, then Portugal.
Oh, yes.
Then Romania. Love you, Maya. And our trip to Romania. Random things to talk about. So something we did recently that was a ton of fun was Nashville Nights when they went on tour.
Oh, yes. This was great.
So they did this thing where they went on tour. So usually there's the thing in September in Odense. But the group did this like tour around Denmark, and we went when they were in Subor because it was basically almost walkable from the place we used to live many years ago when we first moved here.
Great. I had no idea that this place existed.
And we got to see Kinsey Rose.
Yep.
Who my friend in the U.S. said, she's coming, you need to go see her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she'll be in Subor. Of course I will. And she was super nice. We chatted with them for a while.
Yeah.
There were everybody. I mean, everybody in that whole group were like, I mean, the music was good. It was a lot of fun. And we talked to a lot of the people that came over from the U.S. Afterwards. They were all extremely nice, very excited. The one question they all always have is how do we move here? It's like whenever we talk to we didn't go to Cluj, sorry. Whenever we talk to people from the US, it's funny because like if they're musicians, I'm there to see them and I want to tell them how much I like their music and stuff.
Exactly.
And usually it doesn't take very long for like us asking questions to turn around to them asking us questions about how we like, you live here, what? And a very common response is, wait, you have a kid that's 19 years old? How is that possible?
We also get that a lot. Yeah. People will look at us and they're like, you are not old enough to have an almost 20-year-old.
Yeah, but we do. It's true. I don't watch TV channels.
This
it's
is tough.
But the word TV channel, that's a very old school way of referring to things on TV, because that makes it sound like I'd be clicking like back in the day when we had no remote control and Dad would be like, go change the channel. You're my human remote control.
Turn it on ABC.
I don't watch channels. I watch YouTube and get snippets of news and various things from YouTube. I don't really sit and watch channels. I don't watch Danish news because I don't understand the words they're saying. I watch Danish stuff sometimes on Netflix when I can get it translated.
Yeah.
Or at least read subtitles in a way that I can understand.
We should watch more Danish programming. I think it would help us with our Danish.
Sure, but I'm just answering the questions.
I know.
In an honest way. But I don't watch channels at all. I
He's
only
a Mr.
watch
Beast watcher.
I do occasionally watch Mr. Beast. Occasionally, not recently.
When you also
I've been more into this Ryan. I don't know his last name. He does random stuff like he'll like spend a day in this like underwater hotel or something.
You know what Josh's favorite is? Costco guy.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Costco
He's called
guy.
like
Have we talked about Costco
he's
guy on
called
lives?
the deal guy.
The deal guy.
And he basically, this is just genius. It's such a genius idea. He just goes into a Costco. He like looks at like there's Costco's we've discussed before is like a huge store with tons of like massively large things like tubs of mayonnaise that are maybe not that big, but in my mind they're that big. And they like have a monthly thing of what's on sale. This dude looks at it and he walks around the store and gets like maybe 20 seconds of footage of each thing. And he'll just like go up to it with his camera and he'll just like, it's not even like, it's a bit shaky. It might even be shot on his phone. The quality is not amazing.
It probably is.
And then the fun thing too is, and they'll talk about it. Be like, yeah, well, what you need to do is you need to go look at these, go down to Costco and you need to check out these bug zappers that are on sale. And then you like go from like, and then after the bug zappers, make sure you go down the other aisle and look at these
Here's a 5-person
squirts.
tent.
Yeah, here's
look at these squirts.
Get these squirts that are doing super well. You can only get these here at Costco. If you go to Walmart, they might cost you 30 cents more. And then you need to get this huge freezer that's large enough to fit a human body. He doesn't say that part.
No.
And he's like all over the place with this stuff at Costco. And then if he gets food, like you need to get this banana pudding pie, he'll cut to like a shot of it like in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, it's like he opened up the back of his car.
And he just like, and in the trunk of his car, he basically, you only see one thing at a time, but sometimes you can kind of see the edge of like the other pie that he eats later. He just has all this food stuff.
And the black
and you see the black, like, yeah, he had just like the little ruggish, like, and he'll just stick a fork in it. He'll like go up to a pie. He doesn't
like a psychopath.
Slice it. Yeah, exactly. How crazy people would eat pies. And these Costco pies are like the size
huge.
of a pizza.
They're so big.
And he just like jams it with a fork, eats it, and then you don't see him eating it though. You just see it like disappear, and then you see the thumb come back, and he's like, "Yep."
And everything gets a thumbs up.
And I am just addicted to watching this dude,
Yeah.
even though I can't go to a Costco.
No.
And at least it's like 10 minutes of this or more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to keep track of it. At least one thing I'm like, man, we need to get that when we're back. My dad can take us to Costco and we can get those bug zappers. Can we fit it in our luggage? We need to get that banana pie while we're there.
Banana pie.
I need to get the little hot dogs. No, I mean, it's crazy. And this dude in like days will have 1 million views.
Yeah, he gets crazy amounts of views.
I know.
And I feel like some of it's probably deal.
Yes, he's eating the peanut butter pie from the trunk of his car.
From the trunk of his car.
And I think I've thought to myself, man, if this guy didn't already exist in the world, he's cornered the market. If we thought of this idea 5 years ago, I could have been like, Dad, here's the deal. You just need to go into the Costco and just shoot footage of random stuff. Send it to me. Give me an occasional thumbs up. Eat stuff in your trunk. I don't care. And then I'll do the voiceover because you never see his face except in like a setting. He's got like a little mini set at home or whatever. That's the only time you see him talking. I could do that from Denmark. We could have a total like Costco deal guy. We could be the deal guys with a Z.
Guys.
My dad and I. So I don't know. Future ideas. He does it at Costco. He does it at like dollar store maybe.
Yeah.
And I feel like a Dollar Tree. Yeah. Occasionally Sam's Club.
Somebody asked, "What's our favorite Danish dish?"
Costco YouTube Monopoly.
Somebody asked, "What's our favorite Danish dish?" I feel like we've answered this one before. Mine's stikflæsk with pesto sauce. Did I say that right?
I don't know.
Pesto sauce.
Maya eats pies alone in the trunk of her car.
Apparently. Wow.
I mean, if you get the small single-sized baked pies from like Tasty Cake, of course, you can just
those are good.
Just eat that pie.
Yeah.
Somebody's desperate to get us to talk about politics, it seems. Wokeness.
Politics gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
So
I'll just say this one thing about wokeness. I'll say this one thing.
Yeah.
That word is an excuse for trying to actually understand what people are up to. So it's a trigger for me when I hear it. I just discount whoever's saying it because that means they're not making an effort to try to understand what's going on. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, full family of 8 size 1. Exactly.
It is a politic free
That's
zone.
it. I just
Sorry,
I had
we had to say we won't go into politics.
It's a trigger word, Michael.
Yeah.
That's it. We're free of it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one of the things that I think, I don't know if we should feel bad about this or not, but like I feel like we don't try to get very, like clickbaity subjects and stuff. And I feel like politics is just instantly clickbaity because people want to know what you think. And
yeah, but here's the thing.
I don't want that drama.
And my opinion doesn't matter.
That's true.
That's a secret.
I don't know.
It matters to like us.
Yeah.
Like you and me, but to anybody else, it's inconsequential. We're one of you. You want an American's opinion on these things, I promise you. There's even the deal guy occasionally. No, he doesn't. He's very Costco focused. You can find a lot of people online that tell you their opinions if you want to know what they are. My opinions mean very little, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And Maya does not have a car. No. I like this. This is good. Somebody really they put some serious. They pieced together the pie eating with Maya getting a car and never getting a drive. Well done. No, she doesn't have a car. It's up to her, and she has just chosen not to get a driver's license.
Yeah, people ask us that. They're like, "When are you going to let Maya get her driver's license?" She's got the money, and she has the time.
Yeah,
we're not stopping her.
Nope.
She's got public transportation.
Oh, I have another set of pictures. Oh, this is it. This is the end of the line of my pictures, though.
Okay.
That I did around 15 minutes before I started. This is good London. So when I was in London, we did this pasta making.
Oh yes,
class,
you sent me a picture.
Which there's that. This was the end of it.
Yeah.
This is what it was like afterwards. It was like super good.
Aww.
And it was like a team building exercise. Yeah. And it was super cool. I mean, I like this idea of like basically like, so simple.
Pretty good.
And this place here is not related to the pasta making.
God, it looks like something out of Harry Potter.
No, to me, I like got out of like, I took the train from Gatwick to London Bridge or something maybe. And I got off and I'm like, I'm just going to take a subway from here to where I need to go because I didn't want to play with buses. And I come out and I see this building and I'm like, I feel like I'm in an episode of Ted Lasso right now. It just feels like a Ted Lasso building. It's like blue like Ted Lasso. It just felt like it. So I got to take a picture of the Ted Lasso building. Great.
That is a very Ted Lasso building.
Yeah. And so I don't like Ted Lasso, but it's over with.
No.
It was super cool. It was very fun though to make this pasta stuff. It's like, obviously it's simple, but I'd never made it before. And it's just like flour and egg. And it was like it's a great team experience because it's not uber complicated.
Yeah.
And then they
Everybody
made
can do it.
There's a person kind of like making it afterwards and they'd already made the sauce.
But
and it was super good.
You did a cooking class with Maya when you were in Vietnam, right?
Yeah, that was a bit more complicated. This is like, this is meant to be like team building. So it's not meant to not be super complicated,
Yeah.
It's not about the pasta as much as like doing it together as a team.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was super fun. And that was like early in the week before things got really, really busy. But that was a fun way to bond with the team. Some of them are new team members of mine because of the new job and stuff. So it was very fun.
Interesting. Somebody asked if Denmark was an American state, which state would it be?
Delaware. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's offensive.
I'm going
to go. Who? The Delawareans?
I'm going to go Maine. Maine.
Could be.
It's up there. It's almost in Nova Scotia. So it's quite cold. I think they probably have similar. And I think people are quiet and rugged and...
Sure, but don't they have like elevation?
I don't think they have much.
I've never been to Maine.
I think it's know. It's not Vermont. No, Vermont's way too hilly.
Yeah, I've never been. So, if you have any curiosity on where I've been, Connecticut, I guess, is the most north I've been. That's north of New York and all that. Massachusetts, I guess,
I've been
maybe.
To Maine. Yeah.
Now my geography's messed up. I guess Massachusetts is north of Connecticut. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there, that would be as north as
it's Connecticut. Yeah, because it's Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
But I've never gone to any of those other places.
Yeah. Do you have a land border with Canada?
No, they said we do have a land border because of Greenland.
Land border with Canada. Oh, yes.
And then I've been to everything south of that.
Yeah.
And then everything west of that till you get to like all that Oklahoma stuff. Never been to Oklahoma, never been to Iowa, never been to the Dakotas, never been to any of that stuff. I've been to Minnesota, I guess. So west of the Mississippi, Texas, California, Seattle, or like, I'm sorry, Washington, Oregon, Colorado.
Kansas.
I've never been to Kansas. Oh, yes, I have. Kansas City, Kansas.
We've been to Kansas
Kansas
like
City.
twice.
You're right. I went to Sabetha that time. Trying to not. That was where there was a closed down Sonic. It's still like, it still bothers me. And Minnesota.
Yeah.
And but like no, we haven't been in New Mexico.
We looked at New Mexico. Maybe we stepped into it just to say we did, because there was that like Canyon de Chelly that I think
but I don't think we went in New Mexico. But Utah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in Utah.
Colorado, obviously Nevada.
Yeah. We've been all over. We've been to a lot. I've been to Iowa, and Denmark is nothing like it.
Yes, that's true. I have not been to. Yes, I did. Of course, maybe I didn't say this, or I mean,
we should bust these out at some point.
I'll say this. Well, they're in a storage unit.
Yeah.
I'll say this though, that sometimes we've said something on one of our 230 videos. I recognize everybody hasn't seen them all, but we probably mentioned I have been to every baseball stadium except for two that have been opened recently, Atlanta and Texas for the Rangers. Otherwise, I've been to every single one. So I've been to 2 games in Seattle. It was the same trip. And then at a time before those 2 stadiums, I had been to all 30 stadiums. But in total, because of ones that aren't used anymore, I've probably been to like 40-ish. And
And I've been to a lot of those with you.
And then at some point I stopped taking you when I had to keep describing the same rules over and over again. So I took some like solo trips to places. One time I flew.
I was happy to let you go. I was like, you know what?
I flew.
Go on.
I guess it was maybe Chicago. I flew from Chicago to Oakland on a Friday night after work. Went to a game Saturday night and then flew back Sunday.
Yeah, that was all you.
That would be how I'd use my airline miles that I collected when traveling to New York every week. And one time I actually went to same thing to San Francisco and went to the World Series.
Oh yeah, that's right.
San Francisco.
You've gone to the World Series a couple times.
I have been to a number of World Series games across a couple of World Series. And one time I saw the World Series end, last game. And it was in Texas, and they lost to the San Francisco Giants.
Yep.
And I went to my Nationals in 2019, lose,
There you go.
but they won the World Series, just not the game I was at. Same with Chicago. I mean, Illinois is super flat.
Yeah,
very Danish.
It is very flat.
Yeah,
Chicago has the most Danish Americans. Probably. I thought that was like Iowa or Indiana, wherever that Elkhorn is.
Iowa.
There are a ton up. I will say there are up in like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Chicago area. There are a ton of Scandinavian descendants. Like people came over from Scandinavia, and a whole bunch of them, especially up in Minnesota. Bless you.
Sorry.
Like a whole bunch of Norwegians and Swedes, especially, settled up in Minnesota.
I did not know this World Series. Canadian has a team, by the way. They're in the world. I did not go on a ferry in Washington State, as far as I remember.
No.
But I feel like that's the same place where there was that movie. Was that where that movie with Ashley Judd was that there? Like Double Jeopardy, and she's on some ferry, and Tommy Lee Jones is after her, and like the ferry, like a car goes into the water. I feel like that's in Washington.
New Orleans?
No,
that was.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Are there ferries in New Orleans? What? No.
Well, yeah, it's surrounded by water.
Yeah, but where are they going to go? Out into like the Gulf?
Well, there's like islands and stuff. The world. Oh.
Yeah, now Maya's turning into one of somebody who wants to repeat the same thing over and over again. If I don't respond to it, you can just message me and talk to me in person. Yes, somebody from Maya's high school she stayed.
Very dedicated to this.
Now she cares about baseball. Was drafted by the Atlanta Braves, and but he's in the minor leagues. If you don't know about minor leagues, basically in baseball, It's almost like lower leagues of soccer for football, European football, except they're affiliated with major league teams, and there's no relegation and promotion. So there's always major league. They're always there. They're always AAA. They're always AA. But the AAA team and the AA team and the single A team are all affiliated with a major league team, and that's where the players play that aren't ready to play at the top league, rather than in football where they loan them out to other teams to get playing time. They send them down to the minor leagues. And so this guy was recently drafted out of high school, so he's not very old, like 18, 19. And he is in the lower league, so he's not up to the top league yet. No. That's the explanation.
He will be there eventually.
And Minnesota's similar, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like somebody asked the question. I need to verify this answer, but somebody asked, is it, the whole, what do Americans call football when you don't hit it with your foot? And I have heard it's because an American football is a foot long, and that's why it's called football.
I don't know.
It has nothing to do with the fact that we kick it. But that's what I heard.
We'll bring a tape measure to Dick's Sporting Goods with us next time we're there and see. Could be. Might be.
It seems like a legit answer. I mean, I think they seem like they're a foot long.
I mean,
we can measure. We'll measure and find out.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep you posted.
American football hand egg.
Wow. Somehow we've made it 55 minutes so far in this very unstructured, and we went from 19 to 122 people watching us.
And look, we talked about stress like we were going to, and we did a Try It On Tuesday.
We did a
which you found
on Tuesday.
Try It On Tuesday. You found a new candy you like.
Maybe.
Maybe was that too strong of a word?
Well,
I liked
tolerate.
these.
Tolerate.
And
then we just rambled.
We did. Now you're making your chair squeak.
I know this. Sorry, my chair.
This is the old dining room table.
We've talked about on Table Talk before. And so let's talk about the future. I feel like I'm going to look at my calendar here because I feel maybe 2 weeks from now is possible.
Is it? I'll have to look.
That 2 weeks from now would be June 27th. And at the moment, I'm not traveling.
You're not traveling. I don't know if I'm not traveling. I'm sorry, at this point, I don't think I'm traveling.
Let me change that. That would be 2 weeks from Tuesday if we get back on the Tuesday track.
Yeah, if we get back on the Tuesday
track. Although
apparently
that's the day that Chris Isaac is at Amabio.
Oh, I did see the ad for that.
I don't know. We got to see
how that
week's going to work out.
What do you guys think? Should we do should we do another live, or should we go
to games you play? The wicked things you say. I want to fall in love. I mean, Chris Isaac fans, do you want to see Chris Isaac at Amabio?
Should we see Chris Isaac,
do you want to hang out with us? What do you think we should do?
I don't know. That'd be fun. Yes, you did miss singing. Josh actually, you know what Josh gets me with is sometimes he will do his Neil Diamond impression, and then I just completely lose it for 10 minutes.
It's been too long. I can't. I know. I need to listen to him first before I get into Love on the Rocks.
They come to America.
Love on the Rocks.
Blue jeans.
Pull me drink, can I tell you some lies? Yesterday's gone, but all I want is a smile. First you say you love me. Yeah, how you really need me.
God, we've really gone off the rails now.
Nothing you can do or say. You got to leave. Just get away.
Yes.
Okay. I like Neil Diamond.
We'll talk at the concert. There's an idea live from outside Amabio.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking the other day that maybe maybe I could sing a song.
Will we get copyright strike?
Let me finish talking.
Oh my God.
Only on the live stream. And then before the live stream gets posted, delete it.
You can cut it out.
Which means you would only see it if you watch it live. And maybe I'll learn like Kentucky woman, she shines with her own kind of light.
But you got to come out in like a rhinestone jacket with fringe.
No, I'm not Chris Isaac or Porter Wagner.
Porter Wagner.
Where does Chatter come from that?
I don't know.
Well, Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, like one of my favorite bands, just released a brand new album that came out last week. And so I've been listening to Drew a bit more lately, and Drew stuff is what I've like. I know a lot of Drew songs on the guitar, and I was maybe I can sing a Drew song, and like only do it during the live, and then dip, and when it gets posted, make it go away, so you can only see it if you watch live.
Oh,
maybe.
I hope you don't get in trouble for that.
You never know.
I'm gonna get called up.
You never know. What's another good Neil Diamond song? Hello again. I just called to say hello. I couldn't sleep at all tonight. Hello. How old are my laptops?
My laptop is old because I got it with my job, and then I just bought it afterwards after I left. And
that's a random set of questions there. This is actually my work laptop.
Yeah.
Right here.
You're not supposed to admit
that. I'm just looking at stuff.
Don't admit that.
This is my personal laptop, which is like 3 years old, which is running a live stream. And I have jobs. Yes, we have jobs. Yeah. Because you have a YouTube channel, or do you work with audio? No. Laptops are like, I would have this laptop regardless of the YouTube channel. I bought it before.
Yeah.
This is work, so it's not even mine. And this stuff here, is only because of the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
This is only because of
lights.
that.
Yeah.
This
or mics.
Like this stuff that I buy.
These cool headphones.
Even though I don't we don't make enough money in the channel to pay for the things that I buy. It's fun. And then I could sing like Neil Diamond, and it's all good. I mean, seriously. Do I buy stuff on the internet or in stores?
It's hard to find the stuff that we need in store, like channel stuff.
I assume. I mean, stuff is a broad word. I assume you're referring to stuff that is this stuff, which I bought from like Scandinavian Photo online.
No.
I bought from Photographica. I didn't go to the store. I bought it online.
No.
And I mean, sometimes El Giganten, maybe, but this stuff is a bit more like random, so I typically have to buy that online.
I think the Rodecaster has been a good investment. I like that one.
Yeah. I like the way you roll. That's how I roll.
That's right.
See you later, Michael.
Well, Michael's leaving.
Maybe in Ireland.
We might as well leave ourselves.
Maybe. I don't know. Depends on when that happens. See. Guys, it's been over an hour. Somehow we've made it an hour and 1 minute, and you stuck with us.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you guys just as much as I am of myself. And I'm eager to have my day off tomorrow. That's what I call work-life balance. Low stress day tomorrow. Me and Brisket at the I hanging out at the dog park. Maybe I'll sing some Neil Diamond songs with him. Maybe. I've seen Neil Diamond twice.
I think you should just have a whole, TikTok of you singing Neil Diamond songs to Brisket.
Could be.
It'd be great.
I mean, it would be fun. He'd respond well to, Forever in Blue Jeans.
Forever in Blue Jeans.
I don't know. Or Sweet Caroline.
Oh, see,
I don't know.
A good song.
There's one though that is very now seems stalkish.
Which one is that?
I don't know, one that is, something like, I don't remember the name, but it's something like, you were 16 and I was a man. And like, wait a second. I saw you walking by the school. He didn't say that, but I mean, I feel like there was a very
beautiful young lady.
It was like a very underage situation on one of these songs.
It was the 70s.
Yeah, maybe I'll go watch like a great movie of which the name I've already just forgotten, that like America was on, Love on the Rocks was on, and it was the movie that he was in. I don't remember the name.
It was.
It's gonna kill me. Hold on.
I don't know.
I have the internet at my.
We got 112 holding on.
Jazz singer.
Maybe
I'll watch the Jazz singer tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna sit and watch the Jazz singer and sing along.
See,
because that soundtrack had a bunch of the good songs on it. Like I said, Love on the Rocks, America. I feel like Hello. I learned that on piano once.
See, the only Hello I remember is the Lionel Richie one, so that's the one I end up.
Hello.
Oh yeah, now I know that one.
To let you know, I couldn't sleep at all tonight.
Guys, this is how he won me over when we met.
I worked at a radio station.
And he worked at a radio station.
I was like, hey, why don't you come up and listen to jazz with me?
But I think you were also equally impressed that I knew who Neil Diamond was and that I enjoyed your your
All right,
impersonations.
we're going way over, and
Yes,
people,
we are.
dwindling.
It's
It's
work.
dwindling.
It's
People
dwindling.
say goodbye.
It's-
We're gonna
people are
say
leaving.
goodbye.
Okay.
Everybody have a fantastic. Enjoy this
Bye.
fantastic heat, and
I'm
we
hoping
will
it'll rain.
see you later. Hopefully next time with Maya on Table Talk.
Yes.
Travelin' Young Table Talk in the style of Neil Diamond.
Bye.